Shalom. This is the Gerim every parsha. This week's parsha is Vayigash, and interesting midrash. And let's jump right in. It's on the first pasuk, Vayigash, Yehuda, Alav, Vayomer Ki, and it's where Yehuda is approaching Yosef to have a talk with him. And this midrash is just fascinating. It says another explanation to our verse, Vayigash Yehuda. It is written in Sefer Mishle, which is Proverbs, the Proverbs of Shlomo Melech, King Solomon. There's a pasuk in Proverbs 25. Verse 11, that says, Tepuche zahav b'miskiyos kasef. Apples of gold in, we're going to see here, b'maskiyos, which would be, there's a translation by the convert Achilles. Now, if you don't know who the convert Achilles is, you need to get to know who the convert Achilles is. It's a very interesting character. He learned under Rabbi Akiva. He was a convert to Judaism. Obviously, he's called the convert, which that's interesting in and of itself. A lot of people have the misunderstanding that it's against the Torah or against the Rabbanim to ask if a convert is a convert, or to ask anybody if they're a convert, or to remind them that they converted. And that is absolutely not the case. And this is a situation where we clearly see that we constantly remind this individual, Achilles, by calling him the convert. That's what he goes by. So we're constantly reminding him that he converted. So therefore it can't be against the Torah or against the rabbis. It was clearly not. And this Achilles actually he translated the Tanakh into Greek, and the rabbis wanted this translation and actually learned from it, and it was the main Greek translation that was used even by the church fathers later. And Achilles actually, in the Greek, his name would be Aquila, and he was actually a convert from Christianity. So first he was a Christian, and then he converted to Judaism. He learned under Rabbi Akiva, and under his guidance he translated the Tanakh into Greek. And that translation was revered by the sages and used by them in the studies. And that translation was known for being a very literal translation. I think I even saw in a book somewhere that there might have been a correlation to the fact that in the New Testament, the Christian Bible, the first converts that Paul made were a couple named Priscilla and Aquila, who were tent makers. It might be that they were that Aquila was the same Aquila. Just a side note, a fun little side note. But so this Achilles, he translated that word b'maskios as boxes. So the whole pasuk would read, like golden apples in boxes of silver. And what is the significance of this? So this is used as a mashal. Sefer Mishle is mashalim, which are analogies. They're not to be taken literally, but they're to be taken on an analogous level. So it says, the last part of the verse says, so is a word spoken in its proper place. So I think in the English translation, a lot of times you get that it's translated frames of silver, golden apples in frames of silver. But this actually lends a deeper explanation, because it would mean that the golden apples were hidden inside boxes of silver. So you wouldn't be able to see that the gold, which is actually a more precious stone or a precious metal, was hidden within the less precious metal. And so this is significant. It says, as a wheel shows its face from every side, so were Judah's words manifest to every side when he spoke to Yosef. The implication being that, like a wheel is round, it has no sides to it. So therefore it's equal all the way around, but it has multiple so it says, a wheel being circular in shape presents itself equally in all directions. And that is, when Judah spoke to Yosef, although his words appeared to be only words of appeasement, in fact they had multiple meanings, as per the wheel metaphor, for he had hidden in them hints of reproach. This is also the meaning of the apples of gold in silver boxes metaphor. So why is this significant? Why is this significant that also a convert is talked about here? There's a interesting Mishnah by Rebbe Meir where he says that there are some, don't judge a thing by the outside of it, because there's some old wineskins that don't have new wine, and some new wineskins that are not even full of old wine. The point being is, and this is why the convert comes into view here, is because the convert is hidden among the goyim. And so if all you do is look at the outside of the person, then you're missing the point, because there's something much more valuable inside. And that's the whole idea of the mashal between the golden apple and the box of silver. So that's what it has to do with a ger, and they pick this up in the words of Yehuda to Yosef. And it's interesting that Yehuda at that time didn't know that Yosef was actually a Jew. That was hidden from him, and so that's the same kind of concept. And there's a very deep lesson here. And I could go on more, but I'm trying to keep these things short, because I know, you know, in this day and age, everybody just has time for a minute to grab a quick one. So I say good Shabbos, enjoy this week, and that's the ger in every parsha. Thanks for listening.